Everybody, welcome back to Leosophy. It's been a crazy few days with certain stocks, hasn't it? Yeah, I got some direct ties to that. I'm afraid that when the time comes, I'm not trying to spread any fear or anything, but on a lot of platforms, like including the one I'm on, I'm afraid when the time comes, I won't be able to sell. They'll probably keep me from being able to sell when it goes to the moon. But anyway, one of the questions I got happens to be economic in nature, so I thought this would be a good time to answer it in terms of mental diet. So somebody said, "Are there any books that you recommend on investing?" And there's one big one. There's two really, but there's one big one. A Random Walk Down Wall Street. I think it's a great book. It does push the whole index fund things really hard with good reason, and also the Five Pillars of Investing. Those are both really good books, and they also kind of showcase just how pseudoscientific investing is. It is not a very logical process. It's based on a lot of emotion, and a lot of them types who are really high up in the echelons, they absolutely, just like athletes, they buy into a lot of superstitions for that reason. So just so you know, it's not like medicine, for example, where there's, a proper way of going about diagnosing whether someone is sick or not. There's no way of properly acknowledging or diagnosing whether a company's going to do well or not. So, yeah. But I do think it's like easily the best book you could read on the matter. And that is subjective. So let's see. Question number 2, also economic in nature. Any commodities of interest? Everybody's already kind of repeating this, but yeah, right now is, and bear in mind, I'm not a licensed advisor or anything like that. This is just an opinion, but it sure looks like this is going to be the year for silver, kind of like how the year 2000 was the year for gold. And by the way, I was not an adult in that year, and yet even then, I was telling people to buy gold in the year 2000. It was like $300 an ounce when I was telling people, and I realized that doesn't really mean anything. Maybe I just really liked gold. Maybe I was a little leprechaun as a kid. But I noticed a lot of patterns like that. Similarly, I also urged a lot of people in 1997 or 6. It was whenever Pokemon came out in Japan. I was like, people need to buy stock in Nintendo. This was before they were two separate companies. Can't remember the name of the one that made Pokemon now. But man, did they go through the roof too for the same reason. So I think that answers 2 questions. Yeah, silver. Silver as far as commodities go. Oil's also, of course, going to climb because of political things, but it's a lot harder to get into buying oil than it is silver. So just keep that in mind. Last question. Do you think all the things going on are going to help AMC and GameStop? No, not really. I mean, I'm glad that, this is happening, but, well, okay, actually, let me rephrase that now that I've actually, like, digested that question a little better in the past few seconds. I do think that AMC is going to benefit because people are still going to want to go to theaters, and I think this is going to give them the means to bounce back from a lot of bad things that have happened because of COVID. So, yeah. But GameStop, let's face facts, their model is outdated. I'm not saying this to bring it down or anything like that. I'm just saying long term, you're dealing with a company that sells horses after the advent of the automobile. You know, I mean, yeah, you can go in and get T-shirts and what are those little dolls called again? Pops, Funko Pops. You can do that. You can buy a physical game. Last physical game I bought in a GameStop was Red Dead Redemption 2, and that was just because I didn't feel like waiting for it to arrive in the mail. And sure, that's a valid reason. Sometimes you just want something. And that goes for consoles doubly, because who wants to wait for a console to arrive in the mail? Who trusts a console with a flipping delivery person? No offense, delivery people who are watching. So there are advantages, but they've got all their eggs in one basket, video games. And people largely download or order via mail video games. So it's not a great industry currently. I still hope that, like everybody keeps saying, it goes to the moon. I hope so. But I also know that in terms of next year or the year after, that's not going to be the case. It's not logical unless they find some way to pivot. And that's possible. I mean, Netflix sure did. That was an amazing thing. Netflix was like, we're going to send you a disc in the mail. That was their original business model. Well, maybe GameStop will do something, but unless they do, not too many people are just going to want to waltz into a store and buy a game. I guess that answers it all. Like, share, subscribe, keep asking questions. Bye.